Hello everyone! Have you ever wondered what mathematics has to do with the K-pop group aespa and why? In this video, we are going to talk about graph theory. Simply put, a graph is a way for us to map relationships using dots called vertices and connecting lines called edges. In graph theory, a graph is a mathematical structure used to represent relationships between objects. Vertices are used to represent objects, while edges are used to show the relationships between those vertices. A graph can also be arranged into larger and more complex patterns through a concept called tiles of graphs. The word tile refers to a repeating pattern, such as ceramic or mosaic arrangements. In graph theory, tiles of graphs is the concept of repeating a small graph to form a larger graph pattern with a particular structure. So today, we will learn the basic concept of tiles of graphs using aespa and my as an example. To better understand the concept of tiles of graphs, we will first create a simple graph. In this example, we will use aespa and my as representations of vertices in a graph. My will be placed at the center as the main connection point, while Karina, Winter, Giselle, and Ningning are positioned around it. Next, each member will be connected to my using edges or connecting lines. Once all the vertices and edges are connected, a simple graph is formed to represent the relationship between aespa and moi. After creating a simple graph, the next step is to form a tile. A tile can be created by repeating the previous graph pattern to form the next graph. However, not all vertices need to be recreated. In this example, some vertices will remain as connection points, while other vertices will be added again to create a new graph pattern. For example, Winter and Ningning will remain in their previous positions, while Karina and Giselle will be added again as new vertices to continue the next graph pattern. In this way, the graph can continue to grow systematically without rebuilding the entire structure from the beginning. As the pattern becomes connected again using additional edges, the initial form of tiles of graphs begins to appear. After the first tile is formed, the same process continues to create a larger graph pattern. The vertices that were previously added as new vertices now become fixed vertices in the next pattern. Then other vertices are added again to continue the graph development. In other words, some vertices are maintained while new vertices are repeatedly added alternately to form the next tile. This repetition process allows the graph pattern to continuously grow while still maintaining its structure and order. As more tiles are formed, it becomes clearer how the smaller graphs connect together into one larger graph structure. After the repetition process is carried out several times, a larger and more complex graph structure is formed. Even though the final pattern appears more complicated, every part actually comes from repeating the same simple graph structure. By maintaining certain vertices and alternately adding new vertices, the graph can continue to grow into an organized and connected pattern. This is the main concept of tiles of graphs, which is building a larger structure through continuous repetition of the same graph pattern. And that is the basic explanation of tiles of graphs using aespa and my as an example. Hopefully this video helps you understand the basic concept of tiles of graphs in a simpler and more interesting way. Thank you for watching.